2023 is starting off pretty friggin' strong, if you ask me. I mean, we started the year playing Final Fantasy Crisis Core, and that was a complete blast. Then I jumped into Stranger of Paradise, had a bunch of fun there too. And then I decided on a whim, hey, you know what? We should probably check out the newest Fire Emblem Engage, which is a genre that I usually don't tend to play at all. And that's been a complete and absolute blast. There's also been Forspoken, which, yeah. A lot of people apparently don't like that game. I have a video talking about that if that's something that you're curious about. And just yesterday on the Xbox Showcase, they announced and released a brand new game that I also want to be checking out here soon, just out of sheer curiosity. Also in January, we had the release of Monster Hunter Rise on the PlayStation and Xbox platforms, which has been absolutely fantastic. A lot of you guys have actually been asking me for videos. The thing is, most of the videos that I've been receiving requests for in the comment sections, I've already done them. They're already on the channel. If you just look up pretty much anything that you want to know about Rise, I have it on the channel. The few things that I didn't have was like a good Zenny farm method, a good Kimura point farm method. I put that out there. I made a brand new player's guide. I feel like most of the topics covered for base Rise. And just today, we received the news of when we are getting the next developer diary for Title Update 4 for Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. And that is something that I wanted to talk about today, as well as a bit of a personal update when it comes to my personal Sunbreak journey, which I will leave to the end of the video for those of you that are curious. In case you guys are wondering, oh my god, what is going on? Oh my god, Rurikhan, he's going to quit Monster... No, it's nothing like that. It's a very minor thing. I just wanted to talk about it, but I'll leave that to the end of the video. Anyway, so starting things off, I wanted to bring up something interesting because a lot of people have been speculating about what is the monster that we're going to be getting with Title Update 4, because they have given us a couple of clues, and that is the reason why I have this particular tweet open here. This is a tweet from the official Monster Hunter account, which said the Sunbreak free title updates continue the new year. This is from November 28th, 2022. So the reason I'm going to be bringing this up, by the way, I think that for people that have been really tuned in to every single bit of news that Sunbreak has been releasing over the last couple of weeks or so, I think that this is not going to be news for you guys. But for those of you that maybe took a little bit of a break from the game and you're maybe thinking, hey, maybe I'll come back for Title Update 4, this might be something interesting to talk about. So, in November 28th, they released this. This is a Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak roadmap, which talks about the title update that we're going to be getting, Title Update 4 in the winter, which now we know that it is actually going to be in February. And the interesting thing that I wanted to bring up in here is if you pay attention to the question mark icon, you can see that this question mark icon is actually done in the traditional Kimura style that we have most of our quests in Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak, which makes perfect sense, right? However, if you go to the official website right now, you will notice that the map features a bit of a different image. Like, I just wanted you to see that this was from the official website. This is Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. This is the official website, all right? You click here and you can see that, oh, that's a little bit different. The question mark is different from this one, right? And then I was looking up, oh, let's look up the different question marks of different Monster Hunter updates. But naturally, people have already done all of this sleuthing because it's not like this is news or anything. But, you know, I was doing it for myself. So the rumor was that a lot of people were theorizing that the Elder Dragon that you see here might end up being Velkhana. And I was like, huh, interesting. So I started looking up the different question marks, and I instantly ran into this particular post right here from Kogath, who is obviously a reliable source of information whenever it comes to Monster Hunter news. And he says, anyone else notice that the question mark used for the Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak Title Update 4 teaser uses the same question mark as Monster Hunter World Iceborne? And that's when I was like, yep, it's probably going to be Velkhana. I think this is almost pretty much confirmed. And if it's not Velkhana, it is most likely going to be a monster from Monster Hunter World Iceborne. Do you have any theories on what it might be? Like I said, I haven't really been following this super closely because I've been doing a lot of other video games in order to kind of like stay fresh when it comes to playing Monster Hunter. Although in the last couple of days, I've been hunting quite a bit, and I'll tell you guys about that in just a couple of minutes here. But, you know, so I think it's going to be Velkhana looking at this, and I'm wondering, what do you guys think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's have an interesting discussion about this. Anyway, Let's talk a little bit more about some of the features that the Monster Hunter account has tweeted about that is, confirming some of the features that we're going to be getting in Title Update 4. So this was the first tweet, I think. Everyone, here's some more details about Hunter loadouts. Coming as a part of free Title Update 4, you'll be able to register an item loadout, equipment loadout, and layered loadout as a single Hunter loadout set and switch to it as needed. Now, this is a really cool feature because this is actually a feature that, in my opinion, goes beyond the scope of Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak. This is something that they can potentially just implement in future Monster Hunters, and I sincerely hope that that is something that they do. Whereas you can kind of debate about, some of the more gameplay aspects of the game and, talk about how whether you feel like those are good implementations for future Monster Hunters. Like, for instance, you might think, hey, do you want to keep this type of speed and tempo when it comes to the hunts? Do we want to slow it down? That is something that we can all just argue back and forth, and some people are going to like one thing, some people are going to like another thing. But quality of life stuff like this, to me, is just a no-brainer. Implement this into every single Monster Hunter going forward. This is actually really cool because it allows people to basically, hey, I have this frost set that I've made, and now I can associate a layered armored loadout so that whenever I equip this frost set, I come out with a frost-looking armor, which, assuming that I'm correct on my Velkhana thing, or the community itself, because like I said, a lot of people were talking about it. Assuming that we're correct on the whole Velkhana prediction, it actually could be the Velkhana armor set. You could just layer the Velkhana armor set, you have a really cool looking frost set, and on top of it, you'd have a frost damage. You guys get the idea. Fashion hunting. It's really cool. And on top of it, you can have the items to go with it. This is particularly useful, in my opinion, for gunners. Because whenever they have a set, they'll be like, okay, I have this set, and this set is for my stickies or whatever, and you'll have additional sticky materials in there, whatever it is that you gunners do, so that you don't have to manually, oh, I have to select this thing, then I have to go to my inventory and select that thing, and blah, 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 blah. I think that this is a major feature, and I know that it doesn't sound super important, but to me, this is something that they need to consider in every Monster Hunter going forward. But let me know what you think about it in the comment section of this video. Anyway, moving onwards, it was also, again, this is just me covering a bunch of news all in one go. On January 18th, they tweeted that we're thrilled to share that Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak has sold more than 5 million units across Nintendo Switch and PC/Steam. This was right before the release on the consoles, which I'm assuming this probably pushed it closer to 7, hopefully. At least that is what I would like. But, it is what it is. It just makes me happy to see that the series is successful, because it means that more budget will be allocated to the future of the series. So this is pretty good stuff. Then we have another Free Title Update 4 feature. In Free Title Update 4, adjustments will be made to anomaly research requests, which, by the way, anomaly, there's a typo here. You'll be able to clear the research. Actually, I think, isn't it, if you're a verified account, don't you get to edit your tweets? Come on, Jono. Get on it. Anyway, you'll be able to clear the research request conditions by clearing an anomaly investigation at the specified level. Slaying the target monster will now earn you a bonus. So for those of you that might wonder, what exactly does this mean? What this means is you have a quest, and say, for instance, you have a quest that says, oh, kill a monster of level 141 or whatever. If you happen to kill a specific monster, you get an additional bonus. But if you just kill a monster that is around the same level, you still get additional anomaly bonus, which is going to make the anomaly grinding a little bit easier, which to me, the easier you make the anomaly grinding, the better, because the anomaly grinding is way too, at least it was way too hardcore. I've actually been doing the anomaly grinding again. I'll tell you guys why, and I'll tell you what, it's been going pretty friggin' fast now that we have companions and stuff. They've been making that a whole lot faster than it was my first time around. I'll tell you that right now. Although I know some of you guys are like, why are you doing the anomaly grinding again? We're kind of crazy. Yes, there's something in my head, something wrong, Anyway, this is pretty cool news. And then we have another one, again, about the anomaly, which is, hey everyone, here's some more information regarding Free Title Update 4. We will adjust the quest level conditions of the anomaly research requests so that lower quest levels will be drawn more often. You guys will be like, why is this important? The reasoning why this is important is because when you are leveling up, especially now that they're making leveling up anomaly quests easier and easier, when you are leveling up, what ends up happening is you end up with a lot of lower level quests because you're just picking quests that will level you up really fast. And then what ends up happening is a lot of the requests that you get for the anomalies, they're going to be too high level for the quests that you currently have. So if this continues generating lower quest requests, it means that you can continue leveling whilst using some of those lower quests, if that makes sense. Hopefully you guys will be able to understand that. Anyway, and then we also have the teaser for the digital event that is going to be happening in February 2023. Actually, I can't maximize this, but I can put it in theater mode.
Hey there, everybody. I'm here to tell you about a new digital event.
So it is going to be presented by Bahari this time around. Free title update for digital event.
The next one is going to be hosted by yours truly, Bahari the Scientist.
DJ
And
extraordinaire.
I'll be telling you all about Title Update 4, including the release date, additional monsters, the new roadmap, and even some free DLC if you enter a campaign. Don't miss out. The Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak digital event is coming on the date shown on screen.
And as you can see, the date is going to be 3 p.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time, on February 1st, which this is actually a major problem for me personally, because 3 p.m. PST is going to be at 11 p.m. for me. See, this is the time that I'm supposed to be home with my children. So I'm going to have to basically butter up the wife to... Okay, that sounded... I didn't mean for that to sound like that. But I'm going to have to basically get the wife to stay with the kids so that I can hopefully be able to go ahead and stream this as we usually do all of the digital events. That is at least my intention. So, you know, around this, expect to see an event here on the channel. And we will naturally be talking about all things Monster Hunter, Title Update 4, and all of that good stuff.
Be sure to tune in.
We will for sure tune in, Bahari. Don't you worry about that. There's actually one more thing that I wanted to talk about here, which they brought up, which is... Where was it? Here it is. To celebrate the upcoming arrival of Sunbreak Free Title Update 4, we're planning on giving out a special Palamute layered armor to Capcom ID users. Full details revealed in a digital event on February 1st, 3 p.m. PST. So it's the same event. This is when they're going to be revealing what you are going to be getting. But you are going to need to have a Capcom ID. So if you plan on getting this, you might as well go to the official website and get yourself a Capcom ID. I don't know what Capcom IDs are used for, but I'll probably have to get one myself eventually if I want to check out the other game that they are working on, Exoprimal, I believe. I believe that's going to require me to have a Capcom ID. So I also need to make one of these, but we'll see. And we'll also have to see how this syncs with like your Switch account and stuff, because this might just work for PC. I don't know. We'll have to see how this thing works out, but that's another piece of information that I would consider to be important. Now, besides that, there's one more topic that I wanted to bring up. When it comes to the release of Monster Hunter Rise on home consoles, and that is one of the biggest complaints that I have seen throughout my comment section. And I'm not here to like placate that complaint. I think it's a very valid complaint, and I just think that we should talk about it. And that complaint is the fact that Capcom did not do cross saves for Monster Hunter Rise on consoles. We already knew that this was not going to happen. Now there is, I think you can do like crossplay between PC if you have the game on the Microsoft Store, and then you can crossplay with Xbox and stuff like that. There's something about that, and you can like share your save file and whatnot, and that's like a very minimal thing. But to me, I think what ended up happening is from the beginning they didn't really plan this out all too well in terms of the way that the game was going to be releasing. I think that potentially they might have even only intended to release it on the Switch, and then they saw that, you know, it was actually exploding. There was a lot of demand. They were like, oh, let's release it on PC. Maybe that was the case. I don't know. I think they probably didn't have plans to release it on consoles. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what goes on in their heads, right? But the problem there is, whenever you're talking about cross save between a bunch of different stores, and I know that a lot of games do this, by the way. This isn't like some groundbreaking technology. Like, I believe you can do this with Fortnite. You can definitely do this with Dauntless, which is a little bit more inside our wheelhouse of knowledge. I don't think you can do this with Warframe. At least you couldn't. I think with Warframe it was a little bit trickier. But like, there have been games that have done this, that have cross play across multiple platforms. There are games that also have cross progression across multiple platforms. So it's not like the technology is not there. I just think that they didn't plan for it. And whenever it comes to these types of games that have like cosmetic DLC and stuff like that, what ends up happening is that usually Xbox will want you to buy stuff on their store, and Sony will want you to buy stuff on their store, and Nintendo will want you to buy stuff on their store. And everybody's just like fighting to see who gets your microtransactions, right? And I think that they didn't prepare the save file architecture from the beginning to be able to be ported over. I don't think that this is something that's too hard, especially when back in the day, I remember that I ported my PC save file of Borderlands 2 because I had a friend of mine that had Borderlands on PlayStation 3 and I wanted to play with him, but I had a save file that had a bunch of hours into it. So I actually used an application with some I used some hexadecimal editing and whatnot, and it was not overly complicated. It sounds more complicated than it was. It was pretty easy. You didn't have to hack your console. I didn't hack my console at all, but I was able to basically import a save file that had all the things that I had on the PC and put that on the console, and it worked just fine. And, you know, so what I'm saying is, like, I don't think that this is as hard as some people make it out to be. The thing is, I don't think they planned it out, and probably a lot of the platforms are like, no, you're going to have the stuff on the store for our console, so people are not going to be able to unlock things on another console and bring it over, which you could argue, well, but then you could move the stuff over and then not have certain cosmetic DLC, but that's why I'm saying I don't think they planned the save file architecture accordingly. As a matter of fact, if you remember, there was a point in time where the saves of the game were so big on the Nintendo Switch that they were actually asking users to delete a couple of guild cards that they had to free up space in their save file because the files were growing too large out of control and it was like causing problems in the game. So, you know, it just seems like the save file architecture wasn't properly planned out to be migratable, so to speak, across the multiple platforms. But the good news is I don't think that this is going to be a problem in the next Monster Hunter game. It's a bummer right now, and it actually involves something that I'm going to be talking about with my personal update. But it is a bummer right now, but hopefully we won't have to see any of this in the future. So this naturally caused people to, you know, decide which platform they wanted to play on, not based on which platform they actually wanted to play on, but based on which platform they actually had invested a significant amount of time. And it's like, hey, I'm not going to be putting in another hundreds of hours on a different save file. That's completely crazy. And yeah, but like I said, the good news is that I don't think that this is going to be a problem in the next Monster Hunter game, because I've been receiving some feedback from, you know, the people that I talked to with at Capcom, and they've been telling me that, like, throughout the multiple forums that people have filed and all of that good stuff, which, by the way, there's another one. There's been another one for people that have been playing on Xbox and PlayStation. There's a forum for you guys to file. You can find it in the official Monster Hunter Twitter if you just look for a little bit. But the point is, they've told me that, like, hey, look, we get it. People really want this feature. People really want cross-save and cross-progression. And this is not something that the team is ignoring. So personally, I believe that whenever the next Monster Hunter game comes, it's most likely going to have all of those features bundled directly into the game. Now, for my personal update that I wanted to talk about, I moved back to playing Sunbreak on the Nintendo Switch. I've put in, let me just try to break it down for you guys. I've put in about 700 hours, more than 700 hours on the Nintendo Switch. I've put another 700 hours on the PC. And, you know, currently, I don't know how many hours I have on PlayStation. And a lot of people were asking me, Rurikhan, you're going to move your main save to PlayStation? Like, what's the deal? And I think I'm moving my main save to the Switch, and that is why I've been doing anomaly grinding on the Switch. And there's a couple of reasons for that. I actually, you know, a lot of the things that I have on the Switch, I don't have on PC. I know that I have a similar amount of hours on both, but there are things that I have on the Switch that I still don't have on PC. Some of those things are cosmetic things that I've unlocked. Some of those things are, you know, like the little dolls and stuff that you can put on your room. Some of those things are like from the amiibo. But most importantly, it's not even because of that, because with time I could pretty much get whatever I want on PC, and then there's mods on PC and all of that stuff. But you guys know the thing that I don't like installing mods to begin with. And, you know, the multiplayer on PC has the whole problem. And I know that you can swap your region. You can, you know, do a backflip when the moon is... I know that I could very easily get it to work. But it's just like, I don't want to mess around with those settings because I have a bunch of games. Sometimes I receive games on Steam that have like, the keys that come from other developers and stuff like that and require very specific Steam settings. So I don't want to mess around with my Steam settings to try and fix this problem that the game has. I don't want to do it. And finally, another thing is the portability of the console has become really important to me. A lot of people are saying, Rurikhan, just buy a Steam Deck. And it's like, yeah, it's just 400 euros. Let me just pull out my credit card. Do that right now on January, which is the worst month when it comes to ad revenue. I'm just going to do that right now. But it's like, look, I actually can't complain that much because the community has been spectacular throughout this month. There's been a lot of donations, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'm super thankful. But it's like, I'm not going to blow all of those and, just get myself a Steam Deck. It's like, I'm not particularly interested in that device. I already have a Switch. It works great. I can carry it with me wherever I go, and the portability has been extremely important because moving between the studio that I'm at and going home and coming back and going home, and I've also had quite a couple of doctor's appointments. Nothing to worry about right now, but I'm also required to do some social events over the next couple of months because family and stuff like that. And let's just say that the Switch is going to come in handy, so I'm gonna be regrinding the anomaly stuff there. And I've been just having a blast playing there. That's pretty much it. So if you see that the next couple of Sunbreak videos are going to have 30 FPS instead of 60 and crispy 1440p, hopefully you can forgive me for that. But that has been the platform where I've been enjoying the game the most because that has been the most flexible platform that I've had. I'm also going to still be doing some stuff on PlayStation, but I'm not going to be grinding it, as hard as I've been grinding, as I was grinding on PC. Also, most of the people that were playing with me on PC aren't really playing the game anymore, so there's that too. But anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. If you guys enjoyed this, if this was informative in any way, hit the like button. It really helps me out. Thank you very much for the outstanding support throughout the month of January. You all are completely amazing. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay strong, stay safe. Peace out.